Hello everybody, my name is Riikka. Here are my precious colleagues Martin and Kaisa, who will present to you our latest innovation, hate speech detector. Me myself, I'm representing the No Hate Speech movement. It's called Ei vihapuheelle-liike in Finnish. It's a campaign that attacks online and offline hate speech. The movement is led by young activists, and it's targeted at all the young people. We have a lot of dreams, and one of those is to create hate speech free online spaces. Hate speech is not only an online problem, but the internet makes it more visible and provides new kind of platforms to create it. And you can find hateful comments basically everywhere online where people interact with each other. I could say for discussion forums, and then the comment sections of all kinds of sites, for example, YouTube videos, news articles, blogs, etc. When we started the project, we had like a two-faced problem: how to recognize hate speech and then how to react to and act against it. And the hate speech detector helps us to solve both of those problems. Kaisa?
Okay, so what is actually hate speech detector? Oh. Yes. We are actually offering you a project for free, what you can get from No Hate Speech movement, and we will have a badge, and we will have a code, and those both ones you have to add to your webpage. Badge is for anyone who is watching the page, so that they are seeing that you are using this detector, and code is for book publishers. And what this code does, it detects the hate speech. And actually, if someone is typing hate speech to your website, this detector will send mail to No Hate Speech movement activists, plus also the website publisher, so that all those texts can be removed from the websites. And now Martin explains how it actually works.
Thank you. So what we have implemented so far is basically a server which receives some input, which is basically some text, and then it outputs whether it's hate speech or not. And also we have implemented a simple JavaScript code you can basically include in your website, and which will track specific objects whether they contain hate speech or not. And for example, here you can see, I will just reload the page. And currently it takes some time actually to send data to the server and actually receive. But yeah, when it receives data that it's hate speech, then it highlights it. Currently it's not sending an email just for the presentation. And here, for example, we can see that the first comment is hateful towards specific ethnicity or whatever. And then here we can see that we actually have a problem that comment is actually not hateful, but rather it defends the Palestinians or whatever ethnic group we're talking about. This problem, well, it could be easily solved because we're actually relying on a predefined data set of such examples on which our algorithm works. It's latent semantic analysis what we're currently using, but basically even we have a really small data set, it basically detects most of the hateful comments, and it doesn't detect, for example, some different text or what it's not hateful, although it contains like some specific words like Palestinians, Jews, or hate, or whatever. It's not like based on specific words, but it searches for some semantic analysis between those texts. Those texts. Yeah.
Because we want that you won't forget us, we will offer you some stickers so that you will remember the logo, what to see from the websites, what are hate speech free. And now time for questions while I give these stickers.
Thank you. Well, when I read the first comment, it was like hearing some politician speak. I see their entire part is dedicated to this kind of a hate, and so it's nice to see that there are some people that are concerned about it in a more pacific way, at least. And what I would like to say, even if you're not if you're not intervening, because even if you intervene, there are these internet trolls that are even happy to debate about this all night long and come to nothing in the end. But still, you can say this exists. This is a problem that exists, and having the statistics on end to show it may be a good thing on itself, I think.
Thank you. Well, it wasn't a question. I mean, it was just a comment.
Well,
Thank you.
I was surprised, actually. So should I be surprised?
About what? About the
Because
product?
I hear that every day, and I'm not surprising about hearing hate speech. I'm surprised about hearing people that are concerned about that kind of hate speech. That is like normal in politics for some country, even European countries.
Well, it's a problem for some people. For example, personally, for me, I don't really care. Like you say, if someone is hateful towards my ethnicity status or my country status or whatsoever, but of course, maybe she can tell more about that.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is just one example of hate speech. It can be based on ethnic background, sexual orientation, gender identity, religion, the list goes on and on. And there's actually quite a lot of people concerned about it. The movement that goes on in Finland, it goes on all over the Europe. There's approximately 40 countries that are doing the same campaign, and there's a lot of people who are concerned, and we try to attack it.
Could you explain a little bit more about how you really detect what is the hate speech and how to grow that database or whatever you're behind of that?
So basically, currently we have only database about Arabian people, Jews, and Palestinians. It was we got it from one website which gave like examples about politicians or whatsoever talking about that specific ethnicity status. So what we're currently using is it's called latent semantic analysis. The main idea is that it finds semantic connections between specific passages, and it's not really based on like. It shouldn't. The idea is that it shouldn't be based on specific words, because everyone can, for example, just trace. Okay, there's something here talking about Arabians and Jews, so that's hate or something like that. It shouldn't be based like that, because you can also write a good comment about those ethnicity statuses, and yeah, the basic idea is that we process every text in the database in the current text, and we see, for example, which one word, how many times it occurs, and we build basically a matrix with all of the words and all of the passages, and then basically we're not concerned with some words which are really common. Maybe they do not actually have a really specific meaning, so we kind of inverse that factor, so that words which are rarely seen have a little more impact than those which are seen quite often. And then what is built is basically like a vector space, and then you use it's called like singular value decomposition or whatever, and it basically you can find how, based on the direction of those basically vectors, or whether they have some connection or not. I mean, if two vectors are collinear, then they have something which is similar, and if they're orthogonal, well, they're totally different. They talk about something totally different. And basically, actually, this what-end semantic analysis is used in also other. Well, it has a really big application in many other fields, but it's mostly used in natural language processing and so forth.
I'm sorry. If I understood correctly, the goal of your application is that the feelings of a minority does not get hurt, right?
Well, the aim of the whole campaign is to detect hate speech. The aim of the application is to help publishers and website admins to recognize hate speech and to react to that.
Which would lead into less feelings get hurt.
Well, yes, among other things, yes.
So the point that I want to reach here is that you don't actually change the view of the person that created that comment. You are just censoring it. It's kind of a censorship.
Well, yeah, we want to create hate speech-free websites for users.
Yeah, since I'm actually in my country, there's a huge kind of a censorship movement. There's censorship everywhere, but it doesn't make people think differently or change their minds.
Okay.
So I think maybe in your movement you should better focus on how to make those aggressive guys.
Yeah, we don't want to censor people in the movements. We want to talk about hate speech and give people ways to react to it, because it's affecting a lot of people, and its roots are in discrimination, in the power structures of the society. Our aim is not to censor discussions.
Thank you.
And also, what I forgot to say while I was presenting is that, for example, we had that mistake, but that's actually based on the fact that we have just a few training examples in our database, basically. And right now, let's say that if some index is 0, then they're not relevant, and if it's 1, they're really relevant. And now I have done that. Okay, for if it's between 0.2 and 1, then they're really relevant. But that's a huge problem. If we increase basically the database, I can make that index really small, because there will be more text, so to find relations with them. So basically that's why currently errors can occur. Okay.
Okay, let's say that I own a website. How does this work for me, and how do you find me and sell this to me?
Well, where we would start is that we already have a wide network of people that we cooperate with. And we would start with those. We have this 50-member board in Finland. We also have the European network, who are working to promote the movement as well, and who are willing to attack hate speech. So I would start there to contact them, and they would go further with it. Did I answer?
Yeah, the other part, yes. And then just wondering, how does this work for the actual site owner? Is it like a tool for the admin? And what do I need to do? I copy-paste some JavaScript to the web page, or?
Yeah, you basically just copy-paste the script. Currently, you can also install that kind of server on your machine or another machine. It will basically depends how much fast you want it to work and so forth. And also, if your website is, for example, relevant to some news, for example, in some country, and you expect to have hateful comments toward one ethnic status directly. I mean, not, for example, well, basically Jews or Arabian people, but for example, you expect only comments toward Jews or something like that. You can basically create a database, a data set only for that specific category of hateful crime, and so yeah, you can basically make the results even accurate. But yeah, what you actually ask is, okay, you basically, yeah, you just copy paste the script, and you select, okay, for which area, for which class of the in the DOM you want it to be checked for hateful comments or basically hateful content. That's how it works.
Some more questions? What's the future of this? This looks really interesting. I understood there's some functionality missing. Will you continue, or is this like a proof of concept call?
Well, there can be a lot of stuff improved in the technical side of the product, because during those 2 days I had some issues for which I did like really bad hacks, so to say, of like technical hacks, basically, so that currently, for example, it runs quite slower than it should because of like basically local server problems and so forth. And also, if we continue to work on the project, I also know that, well, latent semantic analysis is a good approach, but there's also something called like probabilistic latent semantic analysis, which is kind of better. It gives more accurate results, but it's kind of slower because the space grows like really fast. But yeah, and also she could also tell more about the movement and so forth.
I can just say that, as I mentioned, we already have a wide network who we could provide this. This is an actual product that we would really like to launch. So, and also for the logo, for example, we already have a web designer who could do that. And yeah, so we have real plans for this.
More questions?
Actually, I don't have questions, but just about an opinion. I really like this movement. I like this campaign about no hate speech. But I also agree with Farouk that instead of censoring the comments or on the website, because if you just remove it, it doesn't mean that hate speech doesn't exist. So maybe instead of censoring them, you could try to detect the hate speech and try to detect where it's from, and then maybe send flowers to that person saying, "Don't be so angry."
That's one future idea that we could do, because specifically if the producer of hate speech is a young person, it's actually a good way to detect it by discussing with them. So that's really good. We could also provide info about it and etc. So.
Yeah. So, but this is a really great idea of detecting them and try to find a solution for that. Yeah. But thank you.
Thank you. I think that was all.